Hi, welcome to Will's Crafts, and happy spring. Happy daylight savings time. Happy vernal equinox. Ostara, whatever you celebrate at this time of the year, we're going to have a great craft for you today. A happy, hoppy little Gnome bunny man for you. So let's get started. For this craft, you will need a jar filled with your favorite Easter candy, some felt pieces, a couple of pom-poms, one for the nose and one for the hat, some fiber fill, and some fake fur. For this craft, the equipment list is short and simple. You need a glue gun, some scissors, some pointy nose scissors, a pen or pencil, and some glue sticks. Specialty item you need on this craft is a pattern for the ears. So I'm going to show you how to make that. You'll need a scrap piece of paper and a piece of cardstock or cardboard. This is from packaging. I never throw away a piece of white cardboard. I know my family and people that I work with think I'm crazy about that, but that's me. So what I've done is marked a line. I've decided how long I want my ears to be on the paper. And I am just going to freehand these ear patterns. You know that the rabbit has a longer ear and then the pink part inside. So this is going to be the outside of the ear. And I'm just going to cut an ear shape to that line. And then back down to the side. And I'm going to cut a little off of there so it's not too wide. That's one piece. And the other piece is going to be the inner ear, the pink part of the ear. And this is going to be tricky. It may have to be trimmed once we get putting them together, because sometimes I get the pink part of the ear too big for the ear. And once you've got those cut out of your scrap piece of paper, now if you're really good at art, drawing, whatever, you can do this, just cut it out of the white cardboard, but I kind of need a pattern. So what I'm going to do now is just trace these and try not to move them. Try not to move the pattern with your fingers. As you get older, it might be a shaky ear. Pretty good. Okay, and then trace the other one. Don't move it. Play music while we're doing this. Okay, there's your two pieces. And we're going to cut them out, and I'll meet you right back here in just a minute when that's done. Now we're ready to make ears. I've cut my felt into some smaller pieces that are more manageable, because I don't really want to lay this down and draw around it on the felt, because that will end up in your final product and you don't want that. So I'm going to try to hold the felt and do the cutting around the pattern. Cut the big part off, makes it much easier for turning. And get that ear. There's one. I'll go for the second ear. And cut that out. Okay, we have 2 outer ears. And now we need the inner ear. Not really sure why a bunny's ears are pink inside, but if you've ever seen a real bunny, they are pink inside, like, or shadowy inside. I guess it's because they don't have fur in there. Okay, cut. Oh, that won't come off the scissors there. All right. And don't forget, you need 2 of each, because a bunny should have 2 ears. And they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be exact, because as we know in nature, nothing is the same from one bunny to another. All right. The next step is to glue the center of your bunny's ears into the ear. And I'm just going to put a stripe of the glue down the middle and then try to center that like that. You don't need to put a lot of glue. You don't need the edges to really be glued down, because this is not something you're going to work with daily. It's going to be a gift or a surprise on Easter morning. And then I guarantee the candy inside the jar is going to disappear, and they're not going to play with the bunny too much. Now we have our ears. Now you need a triangle of your felt, which is pretty simple. Just cut the corner off of a piece of felt. And you're going to make the hat. Now, the easiest way for me to make the hat is to hold that point and fold this one side over till I get to the point, and then bring the other side in. Now, you see that the point doesn't come all the way together, but it will, because I'm going to force it to with glue later. You can do the same as me. All right, let's put a bead of glue down, and then we'll bring that side over. Till we form a point. Did I tell you we'd have a point? Yes, I did. It's not exactly perfect, but like I always say, it doesn't have to be perfect. But now you've got a couple of tails here. So we want to use our scissors to just kind of cut that off evenly. And there you have, whoop, we got another point there. You can kind of round that off. Okay, and then you have a hat. It's a little crooked right now, but we're going to fix it. Promise. Just keep cutting it. Well, don't keep cutting it too much until you show it on the jar. Try it out. Now you can see that on this jar I have made the hat so that it'll just come off and on, and I'm going to just tack it with some glue at the back so it can pull off. I can take the lid off, get the candy out, put the hat back on. If this lid was larger, which it's not, I would probably glue the hat all the way around the edge. Now let me show you how we get the hat, the ears on the hat. Now we need a strip of felt that is big enough to go around the bottle. So I think I can't cut too much off this other triangle, but I'm going to start, just going to make about a 1/2 inch strip. That is hopefully going to be really straight. And you're laughing right now because you can see on the camera that it's not exactly straight. Now you want to take your hat and kind of decide where you want your ears to be. I think I kind of want them right there. So I'm going to leave about a finger's width between them and put them on this strip. Don't you just love glue guns? I'm going to put a little glue and put the ear upside down, and I'm tilting them out a little bit so they won't stand straight up on the hat. And then the other one, remember I want a finger width between them. It would always be helpful when doing crafts if you had 3 or 4 hands. But since we only have 2, I have to sometimes do things a little I am having a lot of trouble with my glue in the pan. This is new glue, and I'm wondering if it's the type of glue that it is. Oh, where's the ear? It's right here in my hand. Okay, now they are glued to the strip of the hat, for the hat. The next thing we do is measure how long do we want our beard to be. It needs to be below the lid, and I'm going to give myself about a finger width, longer than the jar, because when I cut it off it may not be as long. And to cut fake fur you need these sharp nose scissors, and you try not to cut through the fur. Of course you will cut through some of it, no way to get around that, but you cut the webbing on the back and pull it away. And then you want to clean. You're going to have some fur that's going to come off of the edges. Then you're going to do the same as we did the pattern. You're going to put a little dot or mark wherever the center is, as close to the center as you can get. And then take your scissors, and for a gnome's beard, you're not going to cut all the way up like that. You're just going to cut like a triangle to the edge from that point. And you're cutting the webbing. Some of the fur will fall off, and that's fine because you want your beard to be shaped. There you go. There's one side, and then the other side. The trick is getting the point of the scissors underneath that webbing. And there we go. Now, your beard, you'll fluff it out because you don't want it to be a perfect triangle. In fact, I would imagine that a gnome in the forest, there's nothing perfect about his beard. There you go. And now we're going to glue the beard onto the jar. Just run a line of glue and put it on there. You don't have to worry about if it's straight or if it's perfect. Although here I am adjusting it so it looks perfect to me. And there your gnome has his beard. The next thing to do is put his nose on. So I have a nice little pink pom-pom. You can use a bead. You can buy something in the craft store that says noses. But I'm just going to use this pink pom-pom. I have used white pom-poms and then paint them pink with a little blush from my makeup kit. Then I found these pretty pink noses and I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm going to set him aside and I'm going to come back to the hat. I'm going to put a little bit of fiber fill in the hat just to keep it poofy. We don't want it to droop over, unless that's what you want, because some gnomes do have droopy hats. Okay. Then we're going to put on the ears, and we have the ears on the strip, which is going to go right around the bottom of the hat. And now I'm just going to put this little pom-pom at the top of the gnome's hat. You could use a bigger one if you want to, or not put one at all. But I just kind of think it finishes the hat there. Now, to attach the hat to the jar. As I said, if the lid was bigger on this jar, I would glue the whole thing to the hat, to the jar lid. But I have a very small lid on this jar. So what I'm gonna do so that the lid can be accessed is just put some glue in the back of the hat and stick it to the jar like this, and then the hat, sure it can, then the hat can be brought down to almost cover the nose. I think I have too much stuffing in there. There you go. Now, there you go. You have a gnome. So here's the finished product, what we made today. I hope your family enjoys it. And don't forget to save your patterns. You made them, put them in an envelope, a box, a file folder, somewhere where you can use them again. You never know when you're going to want bunny ears. Have a great spring and join us again next time. Be sure and join us next time on Will's Crafts, when we're going to use a simple dollar store frame to make a Victorian wall hanging with flowers. See you next time.